Okay, guys, let's try to learn about merge sort now. Okay, so what is merge sort? Why it is so important? Like why people tend to ask this mostly in interviews, right? So all these things, maybe we'll be discussing that over here. Let's say you have an interview, and let's say the interviewer asks or wants to test your knowledge in sorting and searching techniques, right? They tend to ask about merge sort. The reason why they ask about merge sort is there are various reasons. I myself ask merge sort in interviews. Like I take multiple interviews, many interviews, right? Right, most of the times I ask merge sort. It has its own reason, guys. If you think from an interviewer perspective, it has its own reasons. But maybe let's try to understand why is it having its own reasons, and why people actually tend to ask merge sort more. Okay, but before that, let me try to make things very clear for you. Okay, very clear for you. So something like this, I want to take an example, very simple example, which is the following is the example that I'm taking: 8 2 4 1 3 5 6 9. Right, this is my example, guys. Okay, this is my example. Now what I want to do is I want to merge it, or I want to sort it using merge sort. Right, using merge sort, something like this: merge sort. So what I do is I have my input. What I'd like to do is, we have done binary search previously, right? So binary search, what we try to do is we try to cut cut the comparisons by half every time for every step. Then we made sure that whatever is to my left is not necessary, whatever is to my right is not necessary, etc., etc. We try to make our own conclusions over there. But here, as part of my merge sort, what am I trying to do is, I have a big input. What is the size? Right, size is equal to 8. Right, it's equal to 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now as part of my merge sort, first I'm trying to do it, I'll try to break it into two parts. Right, what are those two parts? 8 2 4 1. Right, and then 3 5 6 9. I'm done with breaking it into two parts. Right, again, is there any more divisions possible? I divided it into two parts. Now are there any more divisions possible? Yes, there are more divisions possible. So what are those divisions, guys? I will try to divide it into even smaller terms: 8 2 4 1 3 5 6 9. Right, now again I have a question. Are there any more divisions possible? Yes, there are more divisions possible. Right, there are more divisions possible. So I'll divide it again: 8 2 4 1 3 5 6 9. Right, so what we did is, first we had an input of size 8, we divided it into two parts. Everything has a size 4. Then we divided every part into again two more parts. Right, everything now has size of 2. And then again we came to a part where it has only a size of 1. Right, there is no more further divisions, or there are no more further divisions. Right, this is what we have done till now. Right, this is what we have done till now. Yeah, if we have size 9, see, if we try to understand with some basic example, then you can tweak the code. Either you can say I plus 1 or j plus 1 or k plus 1 or whatever. But first we need to understand the algorithmic technique better, and then I'll make you understand that what if there is an odd number size or even number size, etc., etc. Okay, so here we have something like this. What is this step, guys? This step is, we have done from top to bottom. So this is called, what is the operation that we did till now? This is called divide. Right, we divide. So now what I try to take these two. Right, take these two as simple inputs. Now I will sort these two. 8 into, when I sort 8 into, I came to know that sorted one is 2 and 8. I'll take these two. right? I'll sort these two. I came to know that 1 and 4 is my sorted one. I sort 3 and 5. I came to know 3 and 5 is the sorted one. I'll sort 6 and 9. I came to know 6 and 9 is the sorted one. Now what I do is after I came here, I want to take my comparison or my sorting a little bit further. Here 2 and 8 is sorted, 1 and 4 is sorted. Now my thing is I have to sort these two which are already sorted. These two are sorted independently, right? 2 and 8 is sorted, 1 and 4 is sorted, but these two are sorted independently. Now we should merge these two sorted ones, right? I'll say 1, 2, 4 and 8. I have two sorted ones here. I sorted or I merged two sorted arrays into a single sorted array, and now it is having a value of 1248, right? Again, there is one more. This is sorted, 3, 5 is sorted, 6, 9 is sorted. Now I have to merge these two sorted arrays, and now I came to know that 3, 5, 6, 9 is my sorted array, right? Again, I'm repeating it once more, guys. So what I did is I've sorted. Now these two sorted arrays are my input to my previous step or my to the step which is above, and then now I have sorted all the two sorted arrays which are sorted independently. Same thing I did over here also. Now here we have 1, 2, 4, 8 and 3, 5, 6, 9. This is sorted independently. This is sorted independently. I just need to merge these two. So when I merge these two, which means when I sort or when I merge two sorted arrays, I'll be having an input of something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9. I think I missed 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 8, 9. Simple. So this is something that I did in a reverse order. So reverse is nothing but something like this, right? First, what we did divide. This is our first one. And next, in our return, what we try to do is we merged it, or maybe I can call it as we conquered, right? We conquered. This is nothing but an algorithmic technique which is called as divide and conquer. Forgive my spelling, guys, I am not that great, but this is called as divide and conquer technique. So when you speak about a divide and conquer technique, first you divide the possible input that is given to you, and then as part of your conquering technique, you come back and try to make sure that the smallest possible inputs that are given to you, you will try to merge them, or you try to conquer it as per whatever you are trying to write. This is our simple example. We have taken an input array, we divided it until the point where we can get only the least possible, like we cannot divide this one even further. We came until this point, then we conquered. What is my conquering part? I try to sort, to merge, two already sorted arrays. So here if you see, there are two parts involved, right? There are two parts involved in this. So first part involved in this is my first part is right. I'm trying to use guys, I'm not sure if you are well aware of this programming technique called recursion. To understand the code that we are about to write, you need to understand what is recursion. Recursion is nothing but a function calling itself, right? A function calling itself. So it's nothing but a function calls itself with a smaller input. What it does is I have taken a bigger input with this function, with this input. Now I called it two times with having smaller input. Again, I called the same function using one more. Again, I called with the smallest. So for every call or for every step, what I try to do is I try to reduce the input size as much as possible. And whenever I came to this condition that I cannot reduce even more, that becomes a base condition. When I have come to a base condition, then I will return back. While I'm returning back, I can do whatever I want. That is called as a concurrent technique. So to understand this merge sort, now you need to understand what is a recursion. Recursion is nothing but function calling itself with a smaller input. And whenever there is a base condition which occurs, it returns back its value, right? This is called as recursion. The second one is you need to understand merge to sorted arrays. So this itself is a very important interview question, guys. I was asked this question in Oracle interview. I was asked this question in I don't remember the company name, but yeah, this is a very important interview question. Merging two sorted arrays. So whenever you say merge two sorted arrays, so this itself is an interview question. People will be asking you. For example, let's say I have two arrays, right? You need to write a method merge, right? And it has two input array ARR1 and then ARR2, right? So you need to write some code over here and you need to return me what? An integer array again. So what is this integer array? It should be merged. So what is the condition? ARR1 and ARR2 both are sorted, right? This is an important, very important interview question, guys. So this question will be solving. We need to solve this question first, and then we need to use it as part of our concurring technique. Recursion is nothing but it calls the input with a lesser size, something like that. Very simple. So now we need to understand both these. So before that, let's try to understand what is this question, merge two sorted arrays, right? Maybe I will be moving forward. So before I move forward, guys, are you able to understand whatever I thought till now? Are you able to understand whatever has been taught you till now? Okay, so now we will move forward. So what is our next step? So we need to understand merging two sorted arrays, right? So after that, maybe we'll come to this recursion part, right? So I'll try to make sure that you have some input like this, ARR1 and then ARR2. Now let's say my ARR1 is having an input of 1, 3, let's say 5, right? And ARR2 is having, let's say 2, 4 and 6. So let's say these two are my what you call input arrays. So my question is, I need to merge it. So what is that? My method signature will be something like this: integer array of merge. So what is this merge saying? An integer array 1 and integer array 2. Okay, I have this example. So now let's try to, before we try to write code for anything else, like we need to handle the base cases as well, right? Let's think about the base cases. Let's say if array 1 and array 2 both are empty, or let's say both are null. So in that case, what you need to return is you need to return something null, right? You need to return a null, right? For example, my base case 1 is if ARR1 is equal to null and ARR2 is equal to null. So in this case, what you are trying to do, you are trying to return null. This is my base case 1. Okay, this is my base case 1. So what is my next case? Let's say my array 1 is null, or my array 1 is having an empty input, right? If ARR1 is equal to null. So in this case, what happens, guys? My ARR2 will be the result, right? The reason is ARR2 is already sorted. I need to merge, but my first input is null, which means there's no point of merging itself. So what I say is I'll return ARR2, right? ARR2. Now, the same is the next case as well. So what is my next case? What is my next case? If ARR2 is equal to null, then you return ARR1, something like this. So these three are my base cases, guys. This is very simple, easy to understand, right? Nothing to actually understand, or maybe we can intuitively understand this. ARR, okay. ARR1 is null, then you are returning ARR2. If ARR2 is null, then you are returning ARR1. I think it's correct. Okay, so whenever array 1 is null, then you are returning array 2. Whenever array 2 is null, then you are returning array 1. That's it. because you already know that if one of the input is null, then the other input is already sorted. So your actual intention is to return and merged and sorted array. But you came to know that the second one is already sorted, then there's no point of merging itself, right? There's no point of merging itself. So here we are done. We are good until this part, guys. We are good until this part. Now we need to move forward. So how our comparison comes? How our comparisons come? So how our comparisons come is, this is how it is. This is my comparison. This is my comparison. How it comes? I will be comparing. Let's say this ARR1 has an index of I, right? And this ARR2 has an index of J, right? This I. What I'll try to do is I'll try to compare 1 and 2, or maybe I'll have one more, which is result, and there is a result array. So which is, I have an index of I and J. This both are starting with 0, right? I'll compare I and J, right? I and J, right? So what it says is I'm comparing 1 and 2. I'm comparing 1 and 2. If I come to know that 1 is the least among these two, what I'll try to do is, in my result, I'll be inserting 1. I'll mark that this is done. And what I'll do is I'll try to, now my I is pointing it over here first, my J is pointing it over here first. Now my I will be pointing to the next element, which is 3, right? Which is 3. Now what I'll do is I'll try to again now compare 2 and 3. Now I came to know that 2 is the least one. So what I do is I'll insert 2, and then I'll mark this, and then I'll make sure the J is moving forward, right? J is moving forward. So similarly, I'll be inserting everything. So until what point, guys? Until what point? So with this, what I want to say is, like, if ARR 1 of I, ARR of 1 of I is less than ARR 2 of J. In this case, what am I trying to do, guys? I'm trying to do that result. So I'll say result is starting with K. Let's say result of K is equal to ARR of I, right? And what am I trying to do? I'm incrementing I. I'm saying I plus plus, right? Now my result is already filled, so I'll say K plus plus also. Something like this, right? The same thing I'm doing over here. So now my second case is also there, guys. What is my second case? My second case is, if ARR 1 of I is greater than ARR 2 of J. So in this case, what am I trying to do is result of K is equal to ARR of J, and then I'm saying J plus plus and then K plus plus. Something like this case. The same thing that we did over here. What we try to do? We try to compare. If the comparison, if my ARR 2 element is less, then I'll be inserting that. If ARR of 1 element is less, then I'm inserting that. So for every insertion, I'll be either incrementing my I or I'll be incrementing my K. So these two operations I will be doing until what point, guys? I'll be doing until while AR, something like this, I less than ARR 1 dot length and J less than ARR 2 dot length. Something like this, guys. I'll be showing you a clear code, but what I wanted to tell you over here is we'll be doing until this part. And what are the operations that we are trying to do? We are trying to do operations of this sort, right? We are trying to do these operations, and finally we are making sure that this kind of things are working. I'll be showing the code straight away. Okay, so what is the code saying? My code is saying something like this. I'll say merge two sorted arrays verbose. Okay, so just for now I'll be removing this. Okay, so what I did, guys, this code says my base case, this is my result, my base case 1 is this, and my base case 2 is this. All right, I have something like this, right? This is my base case 2. The same thing that I've written over here. I've taken 3 indices I, J, and K. I corresponds to my array 1, J corresponds to my array 2, and K corresponds to my array 3. And finally, I have this while loop. And inside while loop, I have my 2 if and else conditions. So this is my if condition. This is my else condition. Same thing that I try to do over here. So let's say I have an input something like this. Let's say I have an input something like this. So when I have an input something like this, so I can say when I try to run this one, when I try to run this one, and I try to run this one, it should be sorted. Okay, if you see, but it has a problem. Let's discuss about this problem. If I say my input is having 1 2 1 3 5 7 2 4 6 8 etc etc. Finally, after doing all this hangama, we are able to make sure that it is sorted and is coming. But there's a problem with having a 0, right? Why is it coming? Maybe we'll try to understand a little bit further. But in my same previous example, what I wanted to say is we have taken example 1 3 5 and 2 4 6. Now and then we have a condition like this. What is our while loop? Until when it will be possible? It will be possible until arr1 I is less than arr1 dot length and j is less than 2 dot length. Now let's say in my iteration or in my for loop, let's say I reached an end to my array, right? I reached an end to my array, but still there are elements, right? But still there are elements. For example, let's say arr1 is equal to, let's say 1 3, then arr2 is equal to 2 4 7 9 11 12, right, etc etc. So here what I say is my arr of 1, maybe I'll be coming to an end to this, but my while says I need to break after I came to an end to this one. But here what I need to observe is all these elements are left out, right? All these elements are left out, right? To make sure that all these elements are also taken into consideration, we need to add a little bit more code. For example, the same thing that I did, right? Here, let's say I have an array 1 which is having a bigger input, array 2 is having a smaller input. If I try to run this example, it is working until this part. For all the other elements, it's inserting zeros, right? So for this, what I need to do is I need to even handle this condition. So for that, I'll be adding 2 more while loops, which says the following thing, right? What it says is, if I came to know that I have came to an end of my first array, then I'll be inserting whatever is there in my second array. Or if I came to an end to my second array, then I'll be inserting whatever is there in my first array, kind of. The same thing over here I've written, right? If I try to run this example now, this example will give me an output which is absolutely proper, right? This is nothing but this is a simple interview question, guys. Not simple one, it's complex one, but this an interview question which is much sorted, right? 2 sorted arrays. We have taken a while loop. We have taken the consideration of what if the first array becomes null, and second array comes to an empty, etc., etc. All these cases we have taken care, and we have taken care of the base cases as well. Base case 1, base case 2, base case 3 as well. So this is nothing but this is a way of writing code. Right, this is very understandable. Whatever we are trying to do, this is very understandable. We came to know that this is what we are trying to do, etc., etc. But to write code elegantly, guys, we need to write code in as much less code as possible, right? If you see in our while loop, we are doing so many things: I++, K++, J++, I++, K++, etc., etc. But this is very understandable. There is no confusion whatsoever. But let's say I want to make this is a verbose code. Let's say I wanted to make this as simple as possible, right? I can write it in this way. I'm using a ternary operator, guys. If you do not know what is a ternary operator, then maybe you can go through that. Here in my verbose code, the whole while loop which I have written over here can be made so simple like this using a ternary operator. That many lines of code can be reduced to this many lines of code. I'm not, let me not waste the time of explaining you what is a ternary operator is, but here what I wanted to say is, like, I'm able to write code in a even more elegant fashion or even more elegant way. Let me try to run this run this for you. And here it says I'm able to run this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this while loops are having ternary operator inside it, and I'm able to make it, you know, as compact as possible, right? So after this guys, so what I did is I'm able to make sure that I'm able to merge two sorted arrays. So I told you, for solving a merge sort problem, we need to solve two, right? What is the first problem? The first problem that we need to solve is merging two sorted arrays. We came to know that merging two sorted arrays can be done in as simple code as this, but to understand, I've written a bigger code, right? This is just for understanding purpose, but we can merge two sorted arrays with this very small or simple code, right? So which means we have understood half of our algorithm of our merge sort. Now next thing that we need to understand is its recursion. That's it. Recursion, understanding this one is easier than understanding this merging two sorted arrays. But at this point, I just wanted to ask, like, are you able to follow whatever I thought till now? Right? Since it is more clear to you, so what we can do is guys, just a second. Guys, I think we need to resume for the next session, but we have done until this part. So what it says is, maybe I'll try to explain you what a merge sort, next part of merge sort does. Next part of merge sort is doing something like this. Merge sort is doing something like this. I'll be showing you the code straight away. Right? I told you there is a recursion part, right? Every time we have the recursion part a little bit more confusing to the people. So you are given some code which is something like this. You are given a what do you call, an input something like this in the companies. What they say is merge array 1 and array 2. So something like this you need to write, so blah blah code, and finally you need to make sure that it's merging. But here, if you observe, we need to have a little bit more parameters for us to make sure that we are able to complete it in a proper way. So that's why we come to one more thing which is called as helper method. Helper method is nothing but a method that helps my main method with more parameters. Okay, it helps me with more parameters. Okay, it helps me with more parameters. So that's why maybe I'll try to show the code as soon as possible. What it says, I've taken a merge sort helper. It says it is taking an arrays in as my input. It is taking an arrays as my input, and then I have a helper array, which is my helper array over here, and then it is starting with index of 0, and it is having an index of length -1, which means here if you observe in our example, so what we did is we have taken 0 as an index of 8, and it starts or it ends at an end index which is length -1, right? It is starting with an index of 0 and it is ending with a length -1. And what we are trying to do is, in our merge sort helper, right, we have a condition something like this: low is greater than high, then you return. Or else what you try to do is you trying to find the mid, right? You try to find the mid. Similarly, in our example, we found the mid. The mid is something that, let's say, we can either name it as 1 or 3. Somebody has asked me a question: what if we take a even or odd or something? So here you can tweak your code or whatever you want. So mid you can get. So whenever you try to take mid, you are trying to sort that mid, right? Until this particular point, you have a division, right? You're trying to take a division, and to this you're sorting, right? You're having a call to this merge sort helper, right? This is a recursive call, and this recursive call is taking array as your input. It is taking your helper array as your input, and it starts with low and mid. And then there is one more recursive call which starts with mid plus 1 and high. And then we are calling this method called merge, right? These two are recursive calls, guys. These two are recursive calls. What these recursive calls are doing are nothing but we are conquering that with lower size. If you see here, we are trying to calculate mid. If you try to calculate mid for this one, it comes 4. If you try to calculate mid for this one, it comes 2. If you try to calculate mid for this one, again it comes 1. So until we come to that particular point, and if we break this condition, we'll be stopping the calculation of it, and we are calling this iterate recursively. So then for every recursive call, we have a method called merge, right? What is this merge doing? Merge is nothing but the same thing that we have done over here, guys. What is that? Merging two sorted arrays. So we have a method called merge. So what is this merge taking? It is taking two, right? We are not having any method over here, guys. I did everything in the main method. So here I've taken two arrays. So after taking all these two arrays, I've taken some while loops, etc., and finally tried to merge this. Same thing over here in my merge sort algorithm as well. So what I did is, when I have a merge method, this method is doing the same thing. But here, instead of having two arrays, ARR1 and ARR2, here we have two arrays in the same array. But how are we differentiating that? We are taking the first array from 0 to 4 and my second array to 5 to 8, right? In the same array, we are differentiating that based on my indexes. So this is my index I, J, and K. So based on this indexes, we are trying to make sure it is either ARR1 or ARR2. So after we made sure based on these indexes, we are trying to do the same hangama over here, the same thing. What are these while loops doing? The same thing that I've done over here also. So what I wanted to actually explain over here is nothing hard in this to understand. The only hardness in this to understand is to understand the recursive calls. And after that, I already explained to you how do we merge two sorted arrays, right? How do we merge two sorted arrays? So what is merge two sorted arrays doing, guys? We are trying to call this recursively, which means dividing it. Finally, until which point? Until the point where this condition comes. So after this condition comes, what we are trying to do is we are trying to merge the divided arrays. How the recursion works and all, I think maybe you need to learn, or maybe we can have one more session how recursion works. But here there are recursive calls for division. These two lines are responsible for division, and this line is responsible for merging two sorted arrays, and that's it. This is a merge sort for you guys. If you actually understand, this is having 3 lines, and then maybe this is having maybe 6 or 7 lines. So less than 10 to 15 lines of our code understanding, we are able to solve this merge sort, and then we are able to find it. For example, let's say maybe I'll try to run this code for you, and when I run this one, it says 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, right? This is my input array, and after I use this merge sort helper, and from there I call my merge method. This merge method is making sure that I'm trying to solve it in this particular way. Guys, I think we have completed our time, and we have crossed 1 more hour, right? We have planned for one more session, right? So that's why, like, I need to break out in this session for now. Guys, are you able to hear me? This is what merge sort is there for you guys. Maybe because of this time constraint and all, we were not able to do that in a do that, you know, line by line, step by step understanding. But do understand that we have some other planned sessions. So maybe I cannot give you an overview on Radix sort, and then the other sort that we have planned for quick sort. Maybe you can find, or maybe you can plan for some other session. But what I actually wanted to intend or tell you guys is, like, learning merge sort, learning quick sort, learning all these sorts is not that hard. Only thing is learning the logic. First, you need to take the examples, try to make sure that everything comes well. Finally, you will be writing this in less than 10 lines of code, guys. That is the only thing that you need to think about. Thank you, Monisha. Right.